represents compensation or commission at all, okay? So on the 18th, if you post something like that, you're gonna hear from me or Tanya and ask you to remove it. We don't currently have the ability to do that on our end. So just, don't make any of those kind of posts in the news feed as well, because like I said, it is a function of the MLS. Also, heard just some, I guess, rumors is really what they are, but I just want to mention that any kind of communications or talks about to other agents about your listings not going to get shown if you're not offering compensation, if you're not cooperating, that's antitrust and that's steering, and those have severe consequences. And those kind of comments are one of the reasons that we're in the situation we are today. So the real estate industry is under a magnifying glass right now, and so we don't know what the plaintiffs' attorneys are going to be doing. They could be sending people out in the field testing the waters. The Department of Justice can do that. I know they have done that in the past. So if you're talking to people, just refrain from those kind of. That's a business decision. That's a brokerage decision at each office about what you're going to do and through your conversations with your sellers. So. If you hear other agents talking about that, remove yourself from that conversation immediately. Don't engage. And I know there's going to be a lot of stuff. Social media there's going to be a lot of stuff that could be on the line or over the line. Don't engage in social media, when it comes to that kind of stuff. That's bad news, and that stuff can get screenshotted and sent to people, and so just don't do it. Y'all have any questions, maybe that I can help clarify on any of this stuff? I saw Jessica last night at Miller Open House, and we were talking, and she was talking about how she's newer in the business, and so this is not anything different for her, and so for some of the newer agents, I think that's kind of an advantage because you're not used to the way things used to be. So you just move forward and trying to do your business. So I think sometimes being a newer agent can be beneficial. So what kind of questions do y'all have? Johnny?
Hey, I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area past weekend. I was talking to somebody who was there. They were talking about that they were going to put sign riders on their yard signs.
Great question.
Saying that 3%,
Great question.
2%.
Yeah, that's permissible. You can have a rider on your sign or a sticker indicating compensation or commission. You can't take a picture of that and put it in less. Your signs aren't permitted in the pictures that right now anyway. But anything that would reference commission or compensation in a picture in the MLS is not permitted. But yeah, you can do a sign rider or a sticker or something like that. Yes, you can put that on your sign. Yeah. Somebody mentioned that they were going to put it in the key tag. In the key box. While it's not specifically, to me that's kind of one of those gray areas because the lock boxes are provided from the association. I prefer not to do it that way, but as of right now, I don't think that you can't do that. Another thing that you can do is put a link to your brokerage website in your listing in the agent remarks, and you can have your offers of compensation on your brokerage website, but it has to be 2 clicks away. So you can't have a direct link in the listing information that goes directly to the page on your website that talks about what you're offering, but it can go to you. As long as it's 2 clicks away, that's the standard that it has to be. So you can't put that. That could be something that you can do in the agent only remarks is phrase like buyer broker see our website. You can do that, but again, it's the 2 clickable. So it has to be 2 clicks to get to that information on your brokerage website. Good question. Oh.
In our social media advertising, we go on flyers.
You can. Yep, you can do it on your social media, on your page, on your business page. Yep, you can do that. Just as long as it doesn't come through the MLS. yes.
Anywhere else we wanna advertise that we can, but not for MLS?
Right.
Is that a good analogy?
Yes, that's a great analogy, yeah, yes.
Yeah, but you can't put the 3% commission to the buyer in the contract, and it's a percentage given to the title company, and you get 2%
I think there's a form, yeah, I think that's, is that on that flow chart?
Yeah, the addendum for broker's fees.
Yeah, so, the handout that I gave you's got 3 things in there, and one of them is a flow chart, which great minds think alike. I think y'all were gonna talk about that anyway, in your meeting today, but there's a flow chart from Texas Realtors that talks about how to use that addendum on brokerage, fees.
My question is, I've been looking at it on Facebook, and I see agents putting it on Facebook and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, now, I guess I should mention, you know, if you do, post about a listing on social media, you know, that listing has to be in the MLS, you know, once it's posted to the public, it has to be in the MLS within 24 hours, or 1 business day. I think it's, you have to do it, so, but you can put it in your social media.
So it's okay to share the listing from MLS on Facebook and then put that in just under remarks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it that way, yeah. Yeah, you just can't, that commission or compensation piece can't be tied
Right.
anywhere in the MLS. Yes,
Can
ma'am.
we in remarks, and we're not asked to say that.
Yeah.
Seller will usually be.
Yeah, you can still say that, yeah, if your seller is offering, closing cost assistance, carpet allowance, you know, any kind of thing like that, that's still okay. As a matter of fact, that kind of segues into my next piece. I was gonna talk about the board just approved, to where you can have what's called, in the actual rule, it's a digital sticker, we call it a graphic, that indicates if your seller is offering closing cost assistance or any kind of a carpet allowance or something, or you know, something like that. You can add that to the first picture on your listing, which this is part of your handout too. This is also in the July LAR newsletter, where it talks about the rules when it comes to that graphic. So this came up primarily as a way to you know, highlight what the seller's offering. It's also a good way to highlight a builder, you know, to have their builder, Gabe Wilson Homes or Beaton Bow Homes or, you know, Beaton Bow Home or whatever, Beaton Bow Builder, whatever you want on there. That's a good way to highlight and, you know, show the value of the MLS to your builders, that you're marketing, their homes that way. So you can read on there, I won't read it to you, but there are just a few stipulations, guidelines when it comes to that. We have also, Brenda Fisher, my communications director, she created a Canva template that you can use. Let me give you her email. Her email is media@loveofrealtors.com. If you're not really familiar with Canva, she would be glad to help you do that, show you how to create that Canva graphic image or sticker on your picture. And that might be something, you know, Brian, if you know, next time, we want to have her come in and show you that, I'm sure she'd be glad to do that, so. And, you can also see on there some best practices.
What's her name?
Brenda Fisher? Yeah, she's my communications director. So she's primarily the one that you get the emails from, the weekly member minute, when it comes, she's primarily the one that sends that out. She's the one that designs the newsletter. She does all our social media, posting on our, members only Facebook page and on our public, page as well. So she handles all our anything that deals with social media, she's primarily the one that does that. Another couple of fields that will be added to the MLS, I don't have a time frame for you because, Rapatoni hasn't let us know when, it'll be in there, but we are adding a field called, this is for active listings, called, buyer assistance considered. And it's gonna be an optional field, it's just a yes, no, and that is to indicate if your seller is offering any kind of closing costs or assistance to the buyer. That's a way to indicate that. And again, that's an optional field, it's just a yes, no field. That will be added to the MLS at some point.
Put that in our ad. The seller's offering compensation for.
You can until August 18th, so, yeah.
And then we can't put that in.
And you can't put that in there in the
Even
MLS.
if it's like for closing costs or whatever it needs to be.
You know, if it's for closing costs, it's okay.
You just can't just leave it generic.
No, you can leave it generic. Generic is better.
Okay.
Don't reference commission or compensation.
Right.
Reference closing costs.
Seller will.
Yeah. Right.
But the language buyer assistance considered is acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's cash, I think that used.
Right, yeah, flex cash. Yeah. Yeah, I know that's kind of a lot of builders are using that term, flex cash. Yeah, so, yeah, that's okay. We are also gonna be changing the, as you know now, excuse me, when you report a listing sold, you have the concession field. The name of that field is gonna be changing to buyers, apostrophe S, lender closing costs. And so that's to indicate, any closing costs, any assistance that was given excluding compensation, okay? And there'll be a note in there that indicates that's what was provided as closing cost assistance excluding any buyer's agent compensation that was provided. Don't know when that's gonna change as well. Rapatoni hasn't given us a time frame on that. We're in a little bit of an interesting time with Rapatoni right now because they're not gonna be our MLS vendor come February 3rd. So we are not on the priority list when it comes to requests. Do I? We are gonna change something else. Yeah, we're doing a big change. Yeah. Rapatoni is not gonna be our MLS vendor. We are changing to FBS. Their MLS system is called Flex MLS. And that is gonna happen on February 3rd. And you can see that is a piece that's on this page in your handout, also in your newsletter. But yeah, that February 3rd is our live date to transition over to Flex.
You can have FBS for a very short time, once upon a time way back.
That's what I heard, that's even before my time, but.
Well, I'm before your time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I believe we were a FBS customer, I guess that would have been probably around the late 90s, for a brief time. And then, before we switched over to Voyager, Briscoe is what it's called. Yeah. But yeah, Flex is, as I mentioned, I think in my previous meetings with y'all, the MLS committee has spent about 2 years in looking at different MLS systems, and we demoed all the top competitors in the market when it comes to MLS systems, and it was a very extensive process. They looked at different systems multiple times, and ultimately it came down to Flex is the one that won, and for several reasons. One of them was their mobile capability, their mobile platform and app. We felt is, it's going to be. When you say it's better than Rapatoni, that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Because it wouldn't take much to be better. But it is really good, and it can do virtually everything through the mobile site or the app that you can do through the desktop site. So, it's gonna be, we feel like it's gonna be a really, really good improvement over what we've got currently and allow you to work in the field a whole lot more efficient. They are, one of the top companies. There's a company called T360 that does an MLS survey, across the industry, and they are, top 2, on that survey. They have a large footprint across the United States. They also have customers here in Texas, Amarillo, Plainview, El Paso are all Flex customers as well. So they're one of the top in the industry. They're also an employee-owned company, which we felt is a great advantage. Being employee-owned is definitely a great thing. Some of the other companies are a division of a much larger company, and we felt like we would be a small fish in a big pond, you know, and get promised a lot of things and then end up not getting them in the end. So we think we realize it's going to be nobody likes change, especially realtors. But you know, temporary discomfort for long-term efficiency is a good thing. So,
Why they make the change?
from Rapatoni,
No. Everything we're discussing today.
why?
Yeah.
Well, it's a result of a settlement that NAR had to make on a national class action lawsuit that was made on the industry. And once this class action lawsuit was won by the plaintiffs, it basically opened up the floodgates. Okay, once that happened, then every state was getting bombarded with similar lawsuits, and that includes Texas. You know, at the point that right before the settlement was reached, Texas was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars already in trying to defend these lawsuits, and you know, frankly, that's not sustainable. You just don't have the kind of money that it takes to defend those lawsuits, and so.
It's changing, getting out of the way of the lawsuit.
So by making these changes, it allowed NAR affiliated MLSs to be removed from future lawsuits of this fashion for at least 7 years. So that's why. Yeah, it's a very complicated process, and a lot of the particulars of it we're not privy to, but that's kind of the shortened explanation of how we got here.
Have a way to go. Plaintiffs.
Yeah, I guess from that perspective, yeah. Again, the live date for converting over to Flex is gonna be February 3rd. That's a Monday. For 2 weeks prior to that, both systems, both Rapatoni and Flex, will run simultaneously. The weekend before that, both systems will be in what's called read-only mode. Read-only means that you won't be able to add or edit your listings. And then February 3rd, Rapatoni cuts off, and we switch over to Flex.
So it's all automatic, okay, there's nothing expected from us?
Nothing expected from you other than to come to training. We'll be providing, of course, in-person training in the week leading up to that. There will be webinars that will be recorded that you'll be able to watch on demand as well. So we will be providing lots of training when it comes to switching over to the new MLS system. Any other questions about that? Also, as another piece to the MLS, we are going to be changing from our current tax vendor, Atlas Tax. How many of you use the tax system in the MLS? Nobody? Nobody uses the tax system in the MLS? Oh, wow, okay. So we're going to be switching over to a company called CRS Data. CRS stands for Courthouse Retrieval Systems. We saw several demos of this product, and it is way more robust than what we currently have. and our current tax system has 21 counties in it. With the new tax system, it's gonna have all the counties in Texas. And so, you'll see, we'll be providing training for that as well. We're not gonna, try to do those at the same time. It'll be about 2 weeks after we switch over to Flex that we'll do the training for the new, tax system. But we feel like this is gonna be another step up, as far as, what the programs and things that we're providing. It's a really cool system, and I think you're really gonna like it. So, it's gonna be another, good benefit.
That one wasn't very user friendly.
Right, and that,
I
yeah.
just raised a little, people praising it.
Right, and Joey, that's a good comment, and that's one of the reasons that we felt like it was, that it was time to make a change when it came to that as well, is that this system looks a lot more user-friendly, a lot more robust, and for the price, for what we're paying, it's not gonna affect your dues, but including all the counties, getting all the counties in Texas was just a small increase in what we're paying, per user for, 21 counties versus 254, is pretty cool. So.
What about our personal operating system service? Upgraded, is there something, a guideline or anything?
I mean, how old's your system?
I'm old.
As long as you're not running Windows 95 or Windows ME, I think is one, you should be in good shape.
Okay.
Yeah, and as long as you're not using the very first iPhone that came out, I think you're gonna be pretty good. Maybe the second one? Okay, it could be a little dicey. Yeah, I mean, with all the current systems, computers,
So you think iPhones were the best?
personally, no,
No.
no, but it's great for some people. I hate Apple too. I don't like being tied to a piece of fruit, but, we do recognize that is, very predominant in this industry. And so yes, it works fine on iPhones, works great on iPhones.
So
Yes,
when you're
ma'am.
talking about the tax, the CRS data, are you talking about when we auto-populate the tax information?
That is a component to it,
Okay.
yes. But a lot of that, that comes from, all the MLS systems kind of already have that piece, that auto population piece. That's pretty standard.
Okay.
But like the other stuff that the systems can do, CRS is probably the most robust out there. So, yeah. But the auto populate, I mean, that'll be there as well.
Okay.
Any other questions about that? Okay.
We appreciate you so much.
You're quite welcome. Yeah, and like I said, Brenda would be glad to come in and talk to you all about that, and also about what we're trying to do on our LBK Realtor Stories. That's a piece in your handout there as well. Hashtag that she's encouraging all the realtors to use. If you're out there, working in the community, volunteering, use that hashtag LBK Realtor Stories. And she's trying to spread the word about all the things that you do in the community. It's not just opening doors and selling houses. We recognize that y'all do much more than that. And so we want, kind of promote that and make that prevalent across social media. So we should be glad to come in and talk about how to use Canva and that kind of thing. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.